Hey guys, I'm Simeon. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll talk about how long you should be resting between sets. Welcome back guys. So a common question that I get is how long should I be resting between sets? My answer to this question is always that it depends on a number of things. But before we get any further, please do me a favor, scroll down and subscribe. More than half of my viewers are not subscribed yet, so please give me some love and subscribe. Your support is really appreciated. So going back to the factors that you should consider. First and foremost, it depends on what is the purpose of your workout. Here, I know a lot of people will probably say to lose weight. But please understand that any movement will burn calories and lead to weight loss. It's just that some movements are more efficient in the way that they burn fat. So here I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about workout strategy or method of training. And when dividing workouts into categories, on the one extreme is to lift the heaviest weight possible. That's what power lifters and weightlifters do all of the time. And as you can probably guess, resting between sets will be a lot longer. When maxing out or when you're lifting above 90% of your 1 rep max, you're using your Phosphagen system for energy. And your Phosphagen system runs on ATP, which takes about 3 to 5 minutes to resynthesize. So even though I don't max out and I haven't chased a personal record in decades, if I train that way, I would rest between 3 and 5 minutes between each set. The second possible purpose for training is endurance. There are a lot of sports that require endurance or the training of slow twitch muscle fibers. That could be anything from basketball to running marathons and boxing, rowing. And if the sport requires endurance, you won't be resting much at all. In fact, endurance is powered by the oxidative energy system, which as long as you're well hydrated would require as little as 30 seconds of rest and even less. Finally, for the purpose of building muscle, aka hypertrophy, you use a completely different energy system that is called the glycolytic system. The glycolytic system works based on a breakdown of glycogen. This system is engaged when you're training between 30 seconds and 2 minutes. That's why the general recommendation is to rest somewhere in that range. So the first factor in determining how long you should be resting is what are you training for? The second factor is which set are you on? As you may remember from the first 5 episodes where I explained my acronym FIRST, which represents the 5 fundamental training principles, how I train is in a pyramid fashion. I begin with a lighter weight and more repetitions, which could range as high as 15 or 20 for a warm-up set, and progress to a heavier weight and less repetitions, which could be as low as 6 or 8. After this gradual increase in weight, for the last 1 or 2 sets, I lower the weight back down to where I started. Now, looking at this way of training, you could probably imagine that I won't be very tired between the first and the second set, but I'll be pretty tired between the last few sets. So that is what I mean when I say that it depends on which set you're on. After all, 30 seconds might be enough between the first and the second set, but you probably need the full 2 minutes, if not more, for some of the later, heavier sets. Remember, the goal of resting between sets is to recover so you can exert maximum effort in your next set. So take your time and make sure that you can really push yourself in your next set. So far, we established that your rest period between sets depends on what you're training for. Also, it depends on which set you're on. The final thing that your rest period depends on is whether you're performing any intensity increasing techniques. As I told you in my video on intensity, the intensity of your workout is one of the most important factors for your results. There are way too many people that go to the gym for years and even decades who simply go through the motions. The difference between them and the people who are able to transform their body is that the latter group puts in 100%. So the intensity increasing techniques that everyone should know about and use are drop setting, negative repetitions, and supersetting. I'll probably have a whole episode showing you how to do each one because I cannot stress enough just how important they are for your development. Also, go back and rewatch the 5 episodes about my acronym FIRST, where I told you about the many self-defense mechanisms that your body engages in order to protect you. One of those mechanisms is the feeling of tired. We all think that tired is a physical point of exhaustion, but that is not the case. Tired is simply your brain trying to gauge where to stop you based on previous experiences. And it's only when you start using those intensity increasing techniques that you'll realize how much more you can push yourself. However, when you use those techniques, you will need a whole lot more time to recover between sets. How much more will depend on you. Here, I just want you to be aware of the factors that play a part in determining the rest period. And it's okay if you need more than 2 or even 3 minutes to recover from a heavy drop set. Having said all of this, I think that perhaps the most common mistake for people is not that they're getting back into it too quickly, but that they're taking too long between sets. Way too often I see people buying stuff on Amazon, taking 8 selfies or talking to like 5 people at the same time. Remember how I said that increasing the intensity of a workout is extremely important? Well, decreasing the intensity is extremely detrimental to your results. So keep your pump going and rest just enough so you can give it your all in the next set. That's all for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of the new subscribers and all of the personal messages from all over the world. You guys are the best. To everyone that is not subscribed yet, please scroll down and subscribe. Thanks again and see you next week.